We started the summer of 2024 with a trip to Kaziranga. We have landed at Guwahati Airport. Here at Kaziranga, and checking out of our room for our first safari. From west to east, the four zones are Bura Pahar, Bagori, Kohora, and Agratoli. Everyone is ready and excited for the show. Our first safari was at the central zone, that is Kohora. We were first greeted with this elephant and its calf. Then we saw the entire herd in the grassland. It was the feeding time for the elephants in the afternoon. After a long wait, it was finally time for the royal entry. It was a sight to behold at Kaziranga when the tiger finally comes onto the road to give us a view. We went out of the safari with our hearts full of thankfulness for the beautiful sighting. It was dinner time and we explored John's kitchen, which was very near to the central zone. The next morning started with a little bit of rain, but it could not take away the enthusiasm that we felt in our hearts. Today it's going to be the Bura Pahar range of Kaziranga. If you remember the map, it is at the furthest end of the western zone. Kaziranga is mostly known for its grasslands, but Bura Pahar is a completely unique place where you can actually feel the jungle. We were on the lookout for the Huluk gibbon. However, it decided not to show up on that day. The jungle was alive with its color and sounds. Against this pictorial landscape appears the rhino to complete the picture. The white flowers in the landscape appears as if there had been a snowfall the last night. After the morning safari, it was time to have Karbi ethnic food at Choran Ahem. We have come for some ethnic food for lunch today. The tables were inside the bamboo cottages. They also served us some local wine made from rice. After a wonderful lunch, we were here at the Bagori range for the afternoon safari. The rhino was trying to cross the road and go over to the other side. When it finally started running, it was quite a scary experience. Most of the animals that you see during this season are with their cubs. After a really long wait, the rhinos on the opposite side decide to cross the road. It was again time to wait for the king of the jungle, the tiger. Unfortunately, he decided not to show up on this day. Kaziranga is also known for its beautiful sunsets, and there is ample proof for the same. As we were going out, we spotted a tree full of vultures. The sun was setting against this picturesque landscape with the animals feeding before nightfall. After the safari, we went to the handloom village near Kaziranga. The looms were inside the house where the women of the family weaved the mekhalas. The jungle had a different magic in the evening. We went to see a sunbird's nest at Kaziranga Eco Camp the next morning. We have searched for the capped langur inside the jungle the previous evening, but they decided to show up on the main highway instead the next day. We crossed the Methoni tea estate while going for our safari to the Agratoli range. This is the eastern zone of the jungle and it is famous for its birds. The Brahmaputra river is visible inside the jungle of the Agratoli region. There were several black-necked stork in this region. And there were plenty of Indo-Chinese roller. The landscape is also dotted with the water buffaloes and the lesser Adjuran stork. The surprise for the day is the nest of the oriental pied hornbill. Today's lunch was at my hung. We went back to the central zone for an evening safari. We saw a heavily pregnant elephant right across the road. It was the feeding time for the elephant. The beautiful landscape was dotted with the deers. We decided to spend the last evening on a night safari looking for the night birds. This was, however, not inside the jungle but in the village region and the tea estates. The moon was shining brightly on the landscape. It was finally time for our last safari in the Bagori zone. The Bagori zone also has elephant rides early in the morning, which start at 6 am. The last safari surprised us with wonderful bird calls in the jungle. We ended our trip with a final lunch at Maihang. We are thankful to our guide and driver Manoj for a wonderful trip of Kaziranga.